Hey guys, welcome to the Nate Take. My name is Nathan, and today I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on the Harbor Freight Titanium Easy Flux 125 welder. I've been using it for a little over a month now, and I figured out some definite issues with it, and there are a few good things about it, so let's go ahead and jump into that. Now, before you Harbor Freight fanboys start commenting down below saying how terrible I am for suggesting that their product may not be perfect, don't worry, I am certified to use this particular welder. I gave them money for it, and they gave me the welder. Therefore, that is their seal of approval on my experience and knowledge using such a device. Now, this is my first welder, so that certainly does not mean that I have a lack of experience, and I know for a fact that that could not possibly be the reason why I don't like this welder. So I'm just cutting off all those comments down below that are going to say that I don't know how to use it. Because clearly I do. I've used it for a month. I know what I'm doing. Right? Alright, so, my opinion on it. It's a good welder when it works, but when it doesn't work, it's a bad welder. Well, that's about all I got for you guys today. Okay, to start this video off, we're going to talk about all the things I like about this particular welder. Number one, I like the color. It's green.
I'm green. It'll do fine.
And it's a very nice shade of green. It's high-vis green. That is very pleasant. Number two, I like the fact that it's small. I have a very small workshop that I work out of, and this fits perfectly in there, where it fits great underneath a bench on a shelf somewhere, and it's not taking up a lot of space. I don't use it very often, so it's nice that I can just tuck it out of the way. I like the fact that the dials are turnable. They don't stick. They feel very nice. They feel like very nice dials. The settings are super easy to understand. You just have the voltage and the wire's feed speed. Very simple. And if it gets too complicated between those two, they do provide you a chart that shows you what to set them at for your material thickness. That's nice. What else do I like? I like the fact that what else do I like? I like the fact that it doesn't require a lot of amps, which makes sense, because it's a small welder and it's not for thick material. That pretty much sums up what I like about this welder. I like the fact that it works whenever it works. I like that too. Now, as far as the things I don't like about it, it's made out of Chinesium and it breaks very easily and quickly. This is the second welder that I've had. The first one broke after less than 30 feet of welding, which was very sad. I had to drive 30 miles to go get it replaced. They did replace it for me, right? No questions asked. Just took the old one to them. They gave me this one. So that's good. The other thing that I don't like is that it only takes 2-pound rolls of wire, right? Like, here's what I'm thinking. If you would have made this cover so it opens to the side, right, and can fold down, and then the feed was further back, you could easily fit a 10-pound roll on there. What the heck, Harbor Freight? Why do you do this to us? There was no reason not to do that I'm aware of. Even if you would have made it like an inch or two longer to accommodate that, if that was necessary, come on. 10 pounds of wire is way cheaper to buy than 2 pounds. Shame on you. Oh, the other thing I don't like, the tensioner knob for the wire tension, wire feed tension, pops right off. Don't like that. If you don't see that it popped off, you drop it, you lose it, and then you got to get a wrench to turn that. So that kind of sucks. The other thing I don't like is how cheap the ground clamp is. Yes, it is replaceable, but I mean, even you could have done a little better, right? Like, that's just like, it doesn't have good teeth that really bite. So that's kind of a shame, right? The gun itself, it seems fairly good, right? Like, I didn't have any complaints about it. The switch is decent. Like, it's not super tactile, but, you know, whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's full throttle all the time, pretty much. So I didn't have any complaints. I didn't have any issues with feeding wire through, so I can't say that, oh, that's terrible for feeding wire through. I saw some people saying they were having issues with that. I didn't have any issues. What else? Oh, right, the other thing I'm forgetting is that it breaks very easily. The first one that I had welded maybe 30 feet, right? 30 linear feet of welds. And it just started, the little indicator light up here just started flashing green. In the middle of the weld, it just cut out and started flashing green. Wonderful. Thank you. That's very helpful for my productivity and getting my project done. I did some research online, and other people have had the issue, and it was exploded capacitors or resistors or whatever it was on the circuit board, so I didn't try to fix it, obviously. I took it back to the store. They did replace it for me, which is good. They did honor that, at least. One thing I noticed is that, because I opened up the old one to look in the inside and see if I could see anything that was wrong, I thought, oh, maybe there's a fuse in here or something that needs replacing, right? And the layout of the circuit boards inside is different from the layout in this one. So there's been a change between the two units. So they must have been trying to fix a problem, and they came out with this new design. Now, I will say, on this replacement unit, it still welds, right? The problem is the wire feed. The wire feed has failed on this one. I don't know if it's the motor, I don't know if it's the control board that controls the motor, but it just is not working properly now. It'll spit out like a 1/4 inch wire, and then it won't work, and then later it'll spit out, and then it won't work, and then yeah. So, can't use it at this point unless I were to manually feed, which is stupid. It's cheap. It's very cheap. I knew it was cheap when I went into it, so I'm not like, oh, this is not what I paid for. No, I paid for this, but I'm just making this video so that other people are aware that this thing will break on you most likely. Now, to put it into perspective, I have probably put about 10 rolls of wire through this particular unit. The other one, I got less than 1 roll through it. So, for the number of hours I've used it, is it worth the money? Maybe. But just be prepared to replace it because it probably will break. I can't think of anything else that I have against it right now. As far as what I have for it, I've pretty much covered everything. I do really like the fact that it is small. That's nice. It's nice to have small things in this world.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really.
What am I going to do now? I'm going to take this back to Harbor Freight. I'm going to see if they'll give me my money back for it. If they won't give me my money back, I'll just get it replaced again, because I do have the extended warranty. I did get it with this replacement unit. I went ahead and bought it. It was like 40, 50 bucks. I forget exactly. It's like good for 2 years, I think they said. All right, so my final thoughts on this welder is that it's a good welder if you're going to use it for either 1 or 2 projects. Something small, right? If you just need a welder to do something one and done and that's it, this here will get the job done for you. I don't recommend it as a permanent shop fixture because most likely it will fail and you will be disappointed. And I feel like you can get a better quality welder out there for just a little bit more money. So I actually have one of those on order and it's supposed to get here today. So we'll see how that one goes. So there are 2 use cases where I would recommend this welder. Number 1, you're buying it for somebody else because then it's not your problem. And number 2 is if you have like one project. You only have one thing you need to weld. That's all you need to do. You don't need to do anything else. You don't think you'll ever use it again. This will probably work for you. I don't recommend it as a shop welder that you're just going to keep around and use occasionally because it's a very good chance that one day you'll go to use it and it won't turn on. I believe that the components inside are just too cheap to be reliable to be able to use regularly. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Make sure you roast me in the comments below and tell me how bad my opinion is about this unit and how wonderful it has been for you and how you welded together the San Andreas fault with it or something silly along those lines. Don't forget, I don't post regularly and I probably won't post another video until who knows when because I'm very busy. But if you did like it and you do want to see more whenever that does happen, you can subscribe. I would appreciate that. Like the video, share it with your friends. Tell me how wrong I am. Tell me your experience. No, you know, better than that. Let's be positive. Tell me your experience down in the comments below. All the wonderful things this welder has done for you. I'm sure that'll be a short read. All right, guys. Until next time, this is Nathan, signing off.